Have you ever wondered why life is full of suffering? Why no matter how hard you try, hardships always find their way back to you? What if I told you that suffering isn't a curse, that it's actually a hidden gift? Over 2,000 years ago, there was a man who had everything: power, wealth, wisdom. Yet, he lived a life full of pain, betrayal, and endless challenges. But instead of breaking down, he found the ultimate truth, a truth that made him one of the greatest minds in history. This is the story of Marcus Aurelius, the last great emperor of Rome, and the philosophy that can change your life forever. Number 1. The rise of an unlikely emperor. The year was 161 AD. The Roman Empire was at its peak, stretching across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. At its center was Marcus Aurelius, a man who never wanted to be emperor. Unlike other rulers who craved power, Marcus was a philosopher at heart. He preferred books over battles, wisdom over war. But fate had other plans. At just 17 years old, he was chosen by Emperor Hadrian to be the future leader of Rome. Imagine that, being a teenager and knowing that one day the fate of an entire empire would rest on your shoulders. But power came with a price. Marcus's life was not a life of luxury. It was a life of constant struggle. From the moment he took the throne, the universe tested him in the harshest ways possible. War broke out on multiple fronts. Plagues swept across the empire, killing thousands. Betrayals from close friends and allies threatened his rule. Most men would have crumbled under this pressure. But Marcus, he endured. And the secret to his strength was hidden in a simple but powerful philosophy: Stoicism. Number 2. The harsh reality of life. One night, after a long day of war strategy meetings, Marcus sat alone, writing in his personal journal. These writings would later become known as Meditations, one of the greatest philosophical books ever written. But these were not meant for the world. They were private thoughts, written only for himself, to remind him how to endure life's struggles. One of his most famous reflections was this: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In other words, you cannot control the world, but you can control how you respond to it. Let's take a moment to think about this. Imagine you're walking down the street, and suddenly a storm begins. The wind howls, the rain soaks your clothes, and thunder shakes the ground. Most people would curse their luck. They'd complain, get frustrated, maybe even scream at the sky. But what does that change? Nothing. The storm doesn't care about your feelings. It will rage on, whether you cry about it or not. Marcus understood that life is the same way. Pain, loss, betrayal, and hardship. They are as natural as the rain. Complaining about them is useless. Instead, we must accept them and focus on how we respond. This is the first harsh truth of life. You cannot control what happens to you, only how you react. Number 3. The story of betrayal. Of all the trials Marcus Aurelius faced, one of the most painful was betrayal. One of his closest generals, Avidius Cassius, was a loyal commander. Marcus trusted him, relied on him. But power is a dangerous thing. When a false rumor spread that Marcus had died, Cassius saw his opportunity. Without hesitation, he declared himself emperor and tried to overthrow the throne. Imagine what Marcus must have felt. A man he had trusted for years had turned against him in an instant. Most rulers would have reacted with rage. They would have sent assassins, burned cities, made an example out of the traitor. But Marcus, he did something shocking. Instead of ordering Cassius's execution, Marcus forgave him. Yes, you heard that right. He forgave the man who tried to steal his throne. Why? Because Marcus understood another harsh truth about life. People will betray you. Expect it, accept it, and do not let it poison your heart. Instead of wasting energy on revenge, he focused on something greater, maintaining his inner peace. This is what made him different from other rulers. He knew that anger and hatred only hurt the person who carries them. In his own words, the best revenge is to be unlike the one who did you wrong. Number 4, the final lesson, memento mori. As Marcus grew older, he embraced one of Stoicism's most powerful ideas, memento mori, which means, remember, you will die. Most people fear death. They try to ignore it. But Marcus meditated on it daily. Why? Because understanding death teaches us how to live. It reminds us that life is short, that our problems are temporary, that we must not waste time on anger, fear, or regret. He once wrote, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." That's the final harsh truth of life. You don't have unlimited time. So stop wasting it. Stop holding grudges. Stop fearing failure. Stop waiting for the right time. Your time is now. The takeaway for you. Marcus Aurelius lived through war, betrayal, suffering, and loss. Yet, he never lost himself. He never let life's hardships control him, and neither should you. So the next time life gets tough, remember these lessons. You can't control what happens, only how you respond. Betrayal and hardship are inevitable. Accept them. Let them make you stronger. Remember, you will die. So live wisely. Life will test you. It will throw storms in your path. But in the end, the storm is not what defines you. How you face it does. If this lesson inspired you, let me know in the comments. And if you want more timeless wisdom, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay strong.